Welcome back to another video on getting you one step closer to your success. And in this video, this is part 2 on niching. Now, why is this part 2, you may be asking, and why have I created this? Well, this is part 1 underneath. This is just a quick snapshot on how to find a niche and improve your offer with it. And for this, it helps you get the basic understanding of where you need to be and how to position yourself better. And just in case you haven't watched this video, we went through the process of taking your initial tagline of I help coaches scale their business, which is generic, which is what most of you guys probably have, something just simple, nothing too direct, nothing unique and appealing, to I help fitness coaches who work on helping slim people build muscle by reframing their short form content for client acquisition, saving them hours of time to focus on maximizing lead generation. And we covered all of this in the last video, just through this snapshot, making sure you walk away with the maximum amount of leverage to keep you one step ahead. However, I saw this video and I saw this one comment underneath it where I raised an eyebrow because it said, nah bro, it was actually providing value at some point, but it doesn't provide the huge amount of value market demands or audience demands, so you can have a look on that bro, just nothing else. So I saw this, so let's get into this video and get you even further ahead by fixing this and giving you that advantage. So let's start making our niche powerful. And the way we're going to be doing this is by looking at two things: market demands and audience demands. And I'll be taking you through a step by step so you understand how you can start implementing this and getting that one step ahead from the rest of the competition. Now, let's break into market demands. Market demands means the industry as a whole is already moving. People are actively spending money to solve the problem, as you're seeing with the people that are doing better than you. And market demand answers the question, is this problem valuable enough that some people are already paying someone to fix it? And to validate this, we need to study the ecosystem around our idea, identify the people, the platforms, and the funnels generating income from solving that pain. So we need to reverse engineer this and understand what works and why it works. And your niche must sit in a stream where the money already flows. Now, from me to you, we understand and we've heard so many times how important niching is, but most of us feel like we're not speaking directly to the market. We're not understanding exactly how we can position ourselves in the best way possible. So this is obviously why I've created this for you, so you can get that one step ahead. If you succeed from watching this video, I know I'm doing something right. And if you're staying in this video to this point, it means you were already looking for that solution and you're already having that feeling that this video will help you. So to start off with, and how can we start understanding the market? And it's very, very simple. And even then, if you want to pause this video at any point to go and start looking through this, starting to write these down, start applying it straight off the bat. If you're on a computer, opening up another tab and starting to look into this, this is exactly what will get you ahead. Now on Instagram, search hashtags like hashtag business coach, hashtag agency owner, hashtag scale your coaching. Regarding and coming back from what we spoke about in part 1, this is what will help you get that understanding. So, if you're a fitness coach, muscle building coach, all of these things, this is exactly how you will find it. Now, once you do that, click 5 to 10 creators / consultants, open their link in their bio and break down their lead magnet or offer, whether it's a quiz, call, VSL, etc., and their call to action, so you understand exactly what they're selling and to who they're selling. And why am I saying this? I've linked something in the last video where I showed you how important it is to start taking down market research. It is one of the reasons why my clients, before they start stepping into the game, they understand exactly how they can get the advantage ahead. And this is exactly why they can start coming out, being more valuable, being perceived as more valuable, and get that leverage they need to stay ahead of the competition. And it all comes down to understanding the research around it. Now, looking at this, if you're probably thinking, oh, I've already done this before, let's switch up and get you an even further advantage by looking at one thing, which most people completely overlook. So if you're going to be looking at this, this is what's going to keep you ahead. This is what helps me stay ahead of the game and understand exactly what's happening in the market. And now that is on Facebook Ads Library. search up your desired niche. Remember, as we said, let's use a fitness coach in this example. So muscle building program, scale to 10K a month, online business consulting. And you need to filter it for active ads. So right now, if you're still watching this and I said you're on a laptop, keep this video up and search it up on the background. And once you do this, you need to start filtering for active ads and open each one and study the hook, the audience they're calling out, and the offer structure. Now, by doing this, you have that understanding of seeing who's pumping the most money into what. So it gives you an understanding of what as somewhat of higher demand and what are people really looking for, because they wouldn't be spending a vast amount of money if they knew it wasn't working. So just by doing these things, you're already seeing straight off the bat what the generic search is looking like, what is the market demanding. Is there a lot of fitness coaches on Instagram using VSLs, using YouTube? What are they doing? And secondly, by looking at the Facebook ads, you can already kind of get that gist of, okay, this is what's working, this is the audience that's demanding this, and this is how I can see this by looking forward and seeing who's pumping in the most money. And by doing this, you now have visible, up-to-date proof that people are already buying solutions in your market. It's showing you that people are looking for your solution, for the solution that you can provide. You just need to clear it and filter it properly. Now, if you find a couple funnels, open 3 to 5 of these funnels and run this filter. And you need to subconsciously be thinking about this all the time as you're investigating them. Are they clearly solving a pain or an urgent problem? Are they getting visible results, screenshots, testimonials, statistics? And is the offer clearly monetized? Not free content, but actual applications, calls, and checkouts. And if the answer is yes, you now have a proven niche that is ready to convert. And this is what I mean. Sometimes it's not leveraging what you have, it's leveraging what other people have. And sometimes that is the best way to stay ahead of the competition. So just off understanding these things and taking in these 2 action steps, which you should be doing as we speak. If not, pause the video, take a screenshot, I'll make it nice and easy for you. But it is as simple as that. And when you start doing these things, you start collecting this data, all of a sudden you're staying ahead of the competition and understanding what's working in the market or not. So that is how we start to identify the market demands. And with this, it's the money side of niche validation. If people are already paying to fix a problem, you don't need to create demand. You need to show up better than what's already out there. So this is exactly how we leverage ourselves. And remember, what is a lever? A lever is pushing something that moves, and leverage is moving people. And that is exactly what we need to be doing. Now, let's look at audience demands, because these 2 are the 2 peas in the pods, which I missed out thanks to that comment, and I should have elaborated on more, because this is what you guys need, and this is exactly how you're going to stay ahead. So, by answering this question, what is audience demand? It means the emotional urgency behind the buying decision, and it answers, do the people inside this market actually feel the pain badly enough to want to help someone right now? And it's all about the emotional side. We need them to feel that pain so they can make action, and action is what's the driving forward, which will push us forward. Now, audience demand is about emotional heat. They buy because they're tired, they're ashamed, they're frustrated, or stuck. And you win when your niche speaks to what they're already feeling in their words. And they want to stop. They want to stop waking up overwhelmed. They want to stop hating their calendar, losing momentum every month. And you ultimately need to be saying, I see what you're going through and I've solved it before. So by doing this, someone's coming to you saying, oh, I'm stuck, I need your help. And if they're not coming to you, they're going to find you and say, you're speaking to me directly. You're speaking to me and telling me exactly what I need, just as I am to you now. I'm telling you the things you need to be aware of, the things that will actually cause that driving factor to help you start building up, start leveraging your skills and leveraging the information nobody else looks at, because that's where the money is to be made. The money is to be made in the gaps in the market. Now, coming through this, how can we start finding out this information and getting the information about our competitors to push us ahead? So On Instagram, find 3 to 5 creators who post content about real struggles, such as fitness burnouts, mindset, scaling problems. Read their comment sections. Their audience is in the comments. Those are the people that are highly interested. These are where you find the highest buyers who are most likely to convert. And especially on viral reels or carousels. And screenshot the comments that say, this is me, struggling with this right now, how do I fix this? And before it sounds generic, but you're going to see it's there. And this is what's crazy about it. You will find these people, and these people will be looking for that solution. Now, the second best way, and I've learned this from Sander Stage, where he says inside private Facebook groups and the free value ones are the best ones. And search it up like coaching business mentors, agency scaling secrets, and use the search bar, burnt out, stuck, need help. And read the posts, not just the headlines, and focus on the tone and emotional language. And this will give you the emotional insight of most consultants that people completely ignore. So we're literally leveraging other people's skills, what other people are doing to find the gaps. And you don't need to create the latest solution. You don't need to create something brand new. You just need to solve the problems in the current market, and that's what keeps you ahead. It's what the most successful companies do. And you're not building a standard company, you're building something to help you achieve the success in the future, help you achieve that time freedom, that financial freedom, and that locational freedom. And it's just by finding out what the gaps are. So just by doing this, and obviously doing our market demands and understanding this, all of a sudden we're going to start seeing, okay, the market needs this. This is what could be improved. And throughout this, you're understanding exactly what people are struggling with. What emotional pains are we leveraging? We need to leverage other people's emotions, because that's what will get us ahead. If we're sitting here trying to be nice to everyone, we won't get anywhere. Now, take what they're already saying and plug it into this framework. I help who solve that pain so they can result in this without this. And an example of this, I help exhausted coaches who feel like they're running in circles finally build a scalable offer without burning out or hiring a huge team. I help agency owners stuck under 20k a month turn their back end into a machine so they can scale without losing their weekends. Now, your message doesn't just explain what it does, it makes them feel like you're the one they've already been looking for. And you're even covering it back in what the tagline we changed in the first video, already seeing, we're putting these factors into play. And now you're just having the understanding of why we do these certain things, saving them hours of time to focus on maximizing lead generation. Everyone doesn't want leads. If someone says I don't care about leads, don't trust them. Don't take them seriously, because that's not what you want. Now, when it comes down to finalizing and rounding up audience demand, it is the emotional relevance of your niche. You're not solving business problems, you're solving emotional pressure points that make people want to act now. So understanding these two key factors is what's going to help us stay ahead. And now you're understanding why I've brought it up, why I've covered it in so much detail, and what you can start doing to get that leverage to stay ahead. Now, following up with this, it's very simple, it's very easy. And moving on to the next thing, we need to be looking at mistakes and objections, such as your offer, the demand, and your audience. Because remember, it doesn't matter what you want, it's all about the audience. If the audience isn't staying ahead, then we're going to start falling behind. Now, remember, as I mentioned this before, if you watch my previous content, no one cares about you. People only care about the solution you're going to provide them with. Now, when it comes down to this, we need to have a quick reminder of the fundamentals. And while you're here, and if you stay this long, you're finding this video useful, you're finding the value there, and you want a bit more clarity, you want to start making changes, having results where, you feel a lot more relaxed, you're not having that burnout, you're not wondering what to do next, just drop me a message on the Instagram. And if you're not at that point yet, all I can say is like and subscribe, and I promise I'll solve more of your problems down. So going down to this, looking at the fundamentals, and I applied this diagram in the last one, and it's understanding exactly what are people looking for. Because, market demand and specialization. What are people looking for, and how specific is their offer? Because throughout our market research, we don't want to be jumping into something where the specialization is low and it's a crowded market. Many competitors, many customers, low margins, high acquisition cost. However, we want to be going more into something where the market demand's high and the specialization level is high as well. As you could see, why I was specific about, we need to be making sure we're speaking to people who are slim, trying to build muscle. Being specific, not just saying fitness. Now, when it comes into this and when we start understanding the fundamentals of the market, once again, feel free to take a screenshot. We want to be going into a dominated market where few competitors, many customers, high margins, and low acquisition costs. And this is what gets us ahead. This is what puts us at the advantage and understands how we can fit nicely into this. So now, keeping this into mind, we need to look at filtering and the key points. And once again, this diagram was all made with Claude, and I'll be dropping another video on this, so it gives you something else to stay tuned to. Now, data collection, market size, competition, client value, pain intensity, and digital presence. And we need to understand all of these things, and we have the things to help us understand that. Then through this, we need to be looking at certain things, such as market demand filter, which is passing and rejecting. We want to be passing things where the market has more than 10,000 clients. The pain is above an 8 out of 10, well, 7 out of 10. Growth annually is more than 15%, so the markets are always growing. There's always going to be more people each year. The budget, people have the money to spend, and it's high adoption. If these factors are, there's less than 5,000 people that are interested, stop it, just bid it off. The pain, people aren't really having that need for a solution, bin it off. Now, when it comes down to this step 3, competition analysis, we've just gone through this, and we need to be looking at 4 to 7 out of 10 as a viable opportunity. If it's 10 out of 10 people are doing this, it is oversaturated, and this is what we have the tools to do this. We have the skills to align this. Now, step 4, expertise alignment. It's a strong match if the experience is 5 out of 10, high enthusiasm for learning, network connections exist. Always keep that in mind. Your network is your net worth. Content, natural ability, and interest is a long term. And if there's poor alignment, it's just zero experience, you're not interested, no one's interested, there's no connections, you're going to keep getting burned out, you're going to be stuck. Through this, we need to have a look at revenue validation. If it's less than 1K and it's a one-time model, get out. Because, we're not here to build some low ticket offer. We're here to, show our skills, leverage our value, and make sure our pricing is correct for us. Now, medium is 1 to 3K, some recurring, and high over 3K, clients recurring, and upsells. And this is exactly where we want to be positioning ourselves. Value is expensive, right? And the more valuable you are, the more you can charge. However, you want to be staying ahead of things and actually making sure people get that ROI. So by having that skill, by having the value, and you can start positioning yourself by solving people's pain. If I said I could slow down time for you, you would pay me unlimited amounts of money. However, I can't do that, but I can make your life easier and get you one step closer to your pain, to getting rid of your pain, achieving financial freedom, time freedom, and locational freedom. So would you say it's worth an investment? Absolutely, because you're not going to be feeling the same you were before. Now, a result of that, you have a validated micro niche with a client avatar. And now you can also be looking at such as system results through the high filtering, such as elimination rate, success probability, and revenue potential. So, it sounds like a lot, but in reality, it's not that bad. We've already covered most of these things. We've already covered how to achieve these things, and it's not as complicated as you thought. We just need to put the time and effort in towards it and do simple research. This is why, as I said, I always give out my clients worksheets. And some people may say, we're not in school, why do I need to do a worksheet? You do these worksheets. By the end of these worksheets, you may come back to me in a day and say, it was a bit long, and I'm going to quote someone for this. It was a bit long, but by the time I finished this, it gave me a whole new perspective, and it opened my mind completely, and it gave me an even bigger drive to work towards it, because now I have such a clear mind on what to do next. And that is exactly the same thing you want to be saying to give you that advantage. So finally, as we come to an end of this, just ask yourself, is this for me now? Do I want to do this? And am I happy with this? Because when you find the ideal niche, you need to stick with it. Don't give up. Don't don't change, but keep changing it. Well, keep altering it to your advantage to make sure you stay ahead. And remember, you watched part one, you watched part two, you apply the steps I've told you about, and right now, you'll find the right solution. You'll start reaching that target market. You'll start getting the clients you need. And it's just as simple just by understanding these key factors. So ultimately, now you have the right guide and have the right solution to picking your ideal niche. So on this note, given you the information about niching, all you need to do is just use that action, use that information, and start applying it now. And it's as simple as that. So on this note, if you found the video useful, if you still want more guidance, more knowledge, more information on building and scaling your business, understanding exactly where to position yourself, solving the bottlenecks in your business, simplifying the systems, leveraging AI to get you one step ahead, just drop me a message. And if you have any questions about this, I always encourage you to drop me a message on Instagram. I will help. Always need to give back. Giving mentality is what I say. And, I think everyone deserves a chance for help. So feel free to message me, ask me any questions. I'll be over the moon to help. And if you're really interested in taking the next step, I've attached my Calendly link down below. So feel free to book in a meeting and help us achieve your goals. So on this note, I hope you enjoyed. I hope the value was good. I'm going to be posting every single day. So don't forget to comment, let me know your thoughts, and drop a thumbs up. Enjoy the rest of your day.